Hey everybody, how's it going today? Welcome to Music with Todd Ledbetter. I'm glad you're here. As always, thank you for all you new subscribers. I've been getting like a good amount of subscribers this month, so I'm super pleased that things are catching on and working. And welcome to you new subscribers. What we do here is basically music. You guys recommend music that you like, that you think I might like, that I haven't heard before. Okay, so I guess those of you that have been around kind of know my background. I'm familiar with all like the pop hits from the United States and all that kind of stuff. And I'm 58 years old, so I've been around and I've heard all that music. Like a lot of the channels that do those songs that are so nostalgic, and we like those channels so much because these young people or whatever, people that haven't heard the music that we grew up with, or I grew up with, I should say, although I do have a lot of you guys in my demographic that watch the channel as far as the analytics show. But so that's not what we do here. That's not what we do here, because I know those songs. Well, we're doing songs I haven't heard, and so it gets really interesting. A lot of progressive metal stuff, and or just a lot of music from other countries, frankly, that I've never heard before, that have become some of my favorite bands. Look, Machiavellian God, I reacted to their entire album, song by song. I think I did a couple songs at a time, one or two times. But anyway, it was really fun. And they're from Romania. Great. I don't know, some kind of metal, harsh vocal metal. I don't know what you call it. I don't know what the subgenre is. Anyways, pulled it together. This is going to be a long video. We're already at 2 minutes. I guess I was saying thank you to all you guys, all that have been subscribing. I appreciate it. Okay, let's move on to the music. All right, we're here. And you know why we're here, because it says so. We are going to do some David Bowie from the Young Americans album. We're going to do the 2016 remastered, but this is from original release from 1975. 8 songs, 41 minutes basically. Now, a lot of you guys have heard my story about David Bowie. I know who David Bowie is, and I grew up with David Bowie. I've seen his movies, I've heard his music, but I never owned a David Bowie album. I just never owned one. So all I know of David Bowie is what gets played on the radio. And on this album, yes, okay, I've heard Young Americans, of course, and then I think I might have heard Fascinations. I can't think of how it goes, but I think I've heard it. And then I don't know if Across the Universe is the Beatles song. I don't know if that's the same Across the Universe. And then, of course, the last song, Fame, I've heard, of course. That's one of my favorite David Bowie songs. Back in 1975, when I heard that song, I was like, wow, that is a cool song. I'm surprised I didn't get more into David Bowie, because that song I was so enamored by. Just the coolness and just the uniqueness of that song was just so captivating to me. Let's see, 1975. I was probably the 7th grade, probably around the 7th grade. 76. I know I was in the 8th grade in 76, 77. No, maybe I was younger than that. 76. I was in junior high school. Anyways. So some of these songs I've heard, of course. Okay. So even though it's a first reaction type thing, this is my first reaction to this album, and we're going to play it. How are we going to play it? Are we going to just do the whole 40 minutes right now? Or are we going to break it up? We'll see how it goes. Okay, let's see how it goes. I'll start it, and then we'll determine later as we get down. I was just looking at the times of the songs. Maybe we can do 4 and 4. That'll probably work. Maybe we'll break it up into 2. All right, so let's start with Young Americans, then When, Fascination, and Right. We'll do those for sure.
a funny thing. Am I still too young? He kissed the woman there. She took his ring, took his babies. It took him minutes, took her nowhere. Heaven knows he'd have taken anything. All night. She was a young American.
Love the hand drums, the drum beat, and the bass.
She was a young American. All night. But she was the young American. Standing right through the picture window, she finds a slinky vagabond. He calls as he passes the Ford Mustang. Heaven forbid she'd take anything but the freak and his title for nothing. This is a step and cuts his hand, showing nothing. It swoops like a song. She cries, where have all Papa's heroes gone? All night. She wants a young American. Young American. Young American. She wants the young American. All right. Well, she wants the young American. All the way from Washington. Her breadwinner begs off the bathroom floor. We live for just these 20 years. Do we have to die for the 50 more? And all night, he wants the young American. Young American, so young American. He wants the young American. All right, well, he wants the young American. President Nixon, do you remember the bills you have to pay, or even yesterday? Have you been on America? Just you and your idle simple settle about leather everywhere, not a miss left from the ghetto. Well, would you carry a visa? Just in case of depression. Sit on your hands on the bus of survivors, blushing at all the Afro-Sheilas. Ain't that close to love? Well, ain't that close to love? Well, it ain't that Barbie doll. Her heart's been broken just like you and what the young American, young American, young American. All right, you want the young American. You ain't a pimp, you ain't a horse. A pimp's got a caddy and a lady got a Chrysler. Red's got the stacker, white's got a soul train. Mama's got cramps and look at your hands shake. I heard the news today, oh boy. I got a sweet hand, you got the beat. Who can say no more? And there a woman I can suck on the jaw. And there a child I can help with that judging. And there a band that will write before they die. Ain't you proud that you struck our faces? And there one dance song that can make me break down and cry.
Funny because they make that reference to that Beatles song, and this is where John Lennon was part of this recording on Fame on this album. What's this song? When? Cool. I don't know if I've heard this.
as I start to feel if there's nothing to hide me, and you'll never see me hanging naked and white. Somebody lied. I say it's him to be alive. Now your smile is spreading thin. Seems you're trying not to lose. Since I'm not supposed to grin, all you've got to do is win.
That's all you gotta do. It ain't over.
I'm fresh on your pages. Secret thinkers sometimes listening aloud. Life lies dumb on its heroes. Where your wound was honor makes someone proud. Someone like you should not be allowed to start any fires. Now your smile is spreading thin. Seems you're trying not to lose. Seems I'm not supposed to grin. All you've got to do is win.
That's all you gotta do. It ain't over.
Now your smile is spreading thin. Seems you're trying not to lose. Since I'm not supposed to grin, all you've got to do is win.
That's all you gotta do.
All you've got to do is win.
It ain't over.
When your smile is spreading thin,
Sick and the living you.
seems you're trying not to lose.
It ain't over.
Since I'm not supposed to grin.
That's all you gotta do.
All you've got to do is win.
It ain't over. No. Sick and the living you.
All you've got to do is win.
It ain't over. No, no.
All you've got is all you've got.
It ain't over.
Wow, never heard that song before. Interesting, I liked it. This is a song I thought I've heard before, but so far I'm not recognizing it.
Got to use her. Every time I feel fascination, I just can't stand still. Got to use her. Every time I think of what you're going through, dear, fascination moves something in me. Still I take fascination, fascination. crazy. There's a 60s flame, like fascination. Still ticking.
Fascination,
Fascination.
showing up, takes a part of me.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Can a heartbeat,
Can my heart be
living the fever,
living the fever?
raging inside of me. Fascination,
Fascination.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
takes a part of me. I can't help it,
I can't help
I've got to use up every time.
Fascination comes around.
Fascination,
Shown up,
showing up,
takes a part of me.
takes a part of me.
Can a heartbeat,
Can a heartbeat,
living the fever,
living the fever,
raging.
raging inside of me.
Fascination,
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 oh yeah,
fascination.
takes a part of me. I can't help it,
Fascination,
got to use up
got to use it.
every time.
Fascination comes around. Coming around.
Fascination,
Fascination.
yeah, yeah,
Can my heart be living the fever?
yeah, yeah,
Raging inside. Fascination.
yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah. Fascination.
yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah. Takes a part of me. I can't help it. I can't help it. Got to use her every time. Fascination comes around. Fascination comes around. Fascination. Taking a part of me. Can the heartbeat living the fever raging inside of me? Fascination takes a part of me. I can't help it. Got to use it. Every time. Every time. Every time. Fascination comes around.
Nope, never heard it. Never heard that song before. That was so fun to listen to in the headphones. The mix was so interesting. It was so good. I loved it. The guitar and the keyboard and then the other guitars in the center. The song's called Right. This is where George Michael's got Careless Whisper from.
Taking it all the right way, giving it in the back. Taking it all the right way, never no turning back. Never no turning back. Flying and that's the sweet place. Coming inside and say, flying and that's the sweet place. Never been known to fail.
Never no turning back. Never did no, never no turning back.
Taking it all the right way, giving it in the back. Taking it all the right way, never no turning back. Never need no, never no turning back.
Taking it all the right way, keeping it in the back.
Taking it.
Taking it all the right way, never no turning back. Never did no, never no turning back.
Finding just a sweet place, coming inside and sail.
Finding just a sweet place, never been known to fail. Never been known to fail. Taking it all the right
Taking
way,
it all the right way,
keeping it in the back.
in the back.
Taking it all the right way, never no turning back. Never did no, never no turning back. Never no turning back. Never no turning back. Never no turning back. Never, never, never. Never, 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 never. Never, never. Never no turning back. Never no turning back. Never no turning back. Never no turning back. I never, 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 I never no turning back. Never no turning back.
That was cool. That was really good. Okay, so Young Americans was the only song that I've ever heard from this album so far. And of course I told you already Fame I've heard, which is the last one. So we'll do that. Okay. A little bit about this. The mix was really fascinating in the headphones to me. Now this was the remastered, okay, remastered in 2016. So if you listen to this back in 75 when it came out, it might be different to you. And I know how that is when it's like, okay, that's different. Doesn't give me the same feels because of modern technology or the new mix or whatever. But I'll tell you what, I enjoyed that mix, and I've heard Young Americans a million times, and that song sounded great. So I assume the rest of the album sounds great too. I mean, compared to the original, I've heard the original, but it didn't sound. I didn't notice anything that was like that bugged me. Go, oh, that wasn't right. It just sounded really crisp and really good, and the mix is so good, and just the funkiness of the rhythm guitar and the keyboard and the bass and the drums. It's so funky, even in that mellow song. It's just the guitar strumming and the keyboards, like almost like a clav sort of sounding, not quite, but maybe some sort of like a clav. But really, really cool songs. I don't think I would have liked this album in 1975. As a matter of fact, Young Americans, I didn't like it when I heard it. And it took me years. My gym teacher, on rainy days, we'd go inside the gym and play ball and stuff. And he'd had a reel-to-reel. And it was the same reel-to-reel for 2 years that I was there. Probably for a lot longer. But it had Young Americans on it, and it would play. And I didn't like the song. I never liked the song. But over the years, and I'm going to say like recent years, probably like 5, 7, 8 years, I started really appreciating that song a lot more for some reason. Really started kind of hearing probably what I'm hearing now in this album and the rest of the album, just the funkiness of it and just the quality of the songwriting and the storytelling and the musicianship. It's just really, really, really good. Who are the magicians? Who's that guitar player? I mean, there was some killer guitar work in that album, in that first 4 songs. Whew, really good. So I guess I can look it up, but I think I will, but if you know anything about who's recording on this album, feel free to join me in the comments. I'd love to read what your take is on this. And if you were a Bowie fan during this album, was this the first album you ever heard of him, or were you already on the bandwagon? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. All right, we're going to do part 2, okay? And we'll do that next.